You lose people not because of your words, but because of how those words sound inside their mind. Every day, an invisible battle happens. You say one thing. The other person hears something else. You want to be understood. But between your thought and someone else's mind, there is a dark corridor. That is where friendships disappear. That is where relationships break. That is where deals fall apart. That is where people start thinking, they are not listening to me. But here is the strangest part. Good communication is not a talent. It is not charisma. And it is not beautiful speech. It is the skill of reading a person before they close up. Imagine a room. Two people sit across from each other. One speaks. The other nods. But their fingers are clenched. Their eyes drift away. Their shoulders tighten. The conversation is still going. But the connection is already dead. Most people notice this too late. The first thing that changes everything is this: stop listening to words alone. Start listening to state. When someone speaks to you, their brain is not only sending information. It is sending fear, tension, doubt, a need to matter. If you answer only the words, you stay on the surface. If you answer the state, the person suddenly feels, I have been understood. Here is a simple tool. Before you respond, make a short pause. 1 second. No more. That second feels empty. But inside it, something powerful happens. You stop reacting automatically. You see the person. You hear not just the sentence, but what is hidden behind it. If someone says, I do not care, do not rush to believe it. Sometimes it means, I am hurt, but I do not want to look weak. If someone says, do whatever you want, that is often not permission. It is a signal, I no longer feel heard. Communication becomes strong when you answer not the mask, but the person beneath it. The second key is hidden in questions. We think smart people give smart answers. But in reality, the most influential people ask precise questions. An answer closes a door. A question opens it. Do not ask, did you understand? People almost always say yes, even when they did not. Ask it differently, how do you see it? And suddenly their inner world opens up. Do not ask, why did you do that? That sounds like an accusation. The brain hears danger. The person starts defending themselves. Ask, what led you to that decision? And the defense begins to fall. Same meaning. But a different entrance into the mind. And here is a disturbing truth. People rarely remember exact words. But they almost always remember who they felt like around you. Did they feel smart around you? Or stupid? Important? Or invisible? Calm? Or attacked? That is why tone matters more than text. You can say the right sentence in the wrong tone and destroy everything. You can say simple words in a warm voice and make someone open up. Try speaking a little slower. Not like a robot. Like a person who does not need to prove anything. Speed often reveals anxiety. Pauses reveal strength. When you are not afraid of silence, people start listening more carefully. Because silence creates weight. The third skill seems too simple, so people ignore it. Repeat the essence of what the other person said. Not like a parrot. Like a mirror. They say, I am exhausted, everything is piling up. You answer, it sounds like you have been holding it together for a long time, and now you are just out of energy. And what happens? The person relaxes. Because their nervous system gets one clear signal, there is no danger. I am not being corrected. I am not being interrupted. I am being seen. That is when the conversation goes deeper. There is an ancient fear living in almost all of us. The fear of being invisible. The fear of speaking and not being heard. That is why a true master of communication does not try to shine. They help the other person shine. But there is another secret. The best communication starts not with the other person. It starts with you. If you do not understand what you feel, your words will become chaotic. If there is anger inside, it will leak into your voice. If there is fear inside, it will hide in excuses. If there is hurt inside, it will become coldness. Before an important conversation, ask yourself 3 questions. What do I really want to say? What do I want the other person to feel? What am I ready to hear, even if it is uncomfortable? The last question is the hardest. Because communication is not control. It is a meeting. And every meeting carries risk. You may be wrong. You may hear the truth. You may see the person differently. And they may see the real you. That is why many people speak loudly but never actually communicate. They build walls out of words. Good communication is not about winning the conversation. It is about creating a space where truth can come out without fear. When you listen more deeply, ask more precisely, speak more calmly, and reflect feelings back, people change around you. They become softer. More honest. More alive. And one day you notice something strange. The same people. The same topics. The same problems. But the conversations no longer end in coldness. They begin to lead to understanding. Because now you are not just talking. You are connecting. And in a world where everyone is shouting, the person who can truly listen becomes almost magical. And maybe that is what changes lives. Not perfect words. Not flawless arguments. But the moment when one human being suddenly feels, I am not alone. If this script was useful to you, subscribe.